Hello students. So today we are going to discuss one of the most important topics of mathematics, that is trigonometry. Now I understand that this topic is a bit uncomfortable for a lot of students, but believe me, if you try to understand it with real life examples, it would be much more interesting. So let us begin today's topic, that is real life application of trigonometry. We'll try to understand this by the help of example. Let's look into that. Okay, here's a scenario. It's a good Sunday summer morning and an old man decides to go out for a walk with his dog. Now he feels tired and he decides that he'll take a rest in a park, and he decides to read his book while the dog decides to have a nice nap. Now comes our protagonist, and this is the gardener of the park. Now his today's job is to cut the tree, but you know, this guy is a bit lean towards mathematics. He has a keen interest towards mathematics. So whatever problems he has in his life, he tries to solve it with mathematics. Now he sees that the old man is having a good time, the dog is sleeping, so he doesn't want to disturb them. So he decides to cut the tree without disturbing these people. But in order to do that, he must know what is the height of the tree, right? In order to find that out, he must have a knowledge about something called as angles. So while he figures that out, let us take a step back and understand what are angles and how do you measure them. Let us look into the scenario 1. Okay, there's a horse, and this horse has been tied to the center of a field with a rope that measures 3 meters. Now this horse goes, let us assume the initial point, his starting point, as P1. The horse makes a round of the circle and then ends at a point that is P2. Now if you measure the length between point P1 and P2 through the circumference of the circle, he found it to be 4 meters. You can say that the arc length from P1 to P2 is 4 meters and the radius of the circle is 3 meters. Now this is the angle that is formed between the initial position and the final position. Let us keep these points in mind and move to the second scenario. Now this is the same scenario as the first one, the inner circle. Now in the second scenario, what happens is that the length of the rope has been increased from 3 meters to 6 meters. Same initial position is P1. The horse makes a round and ends at point P2, which is exactly the previous point where the horse was, only that the circle is bigger now, right? Now we observe that to make the same angle as the previous one, the horse had to move 8 meters on the circumference, whereas in the previous scenario he only traveled 4 meters, right? So what do you observe here? Let me just write it down. In the first scenario, the radius of the circle was 3 meters and the arc length was 4 meters. To make the same angle, now the horse had to travel 8 meters with the rope length 6 meters. So what do you observe? That even when the measurements, all the measurements are changed, the angle remained the same. Let us make an important point here, that when you double the radius, the arc length also doubles, right? So this has to be the basic definition of what is an angle, right? Let us move to the observation, what we understand. What did we infer through these two scenarios? We observed that the ratio in the scenario 1, that is S1 by R1, the arc length to the radius, is equal to the ratio in the second scenario, arc length to the radius, that is 8 by 6, which is equal to 1.33, right? So we can say that for a fixed angle, the ratio of the arc length to the radius remains constant, and the number that we get as the ratio can be called as is the measure of the angle in radians. That is, this 1.33 that we get is the measure of the angle, this angle in radians. I hope that is clear. Now let us move to the next. So let us look at some of the examples of a measure of an angle in radians. Now if I say that this angle is 0.5 radians, what do I mean by that? I mean that this arc length is half the measure of the radius, right? If this is 1, this will be 0.5. That is what this angle 0.5 radian means. What does this angle, if it says 1 radian, what does this mean? The length of the radius is equal to the length of the arc length. Similarly, when I say 2 radians, the arc length is double the radius, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so now let us calculate what would this angle be in radians. Now a common fact that you people already know that this angle is called as 90 degrees in the Babylonian measurement, right? But when you want to find out the angle in radians, what do you need to do? You have to find the arc length. Second, you need to know the radius, right? Now how do you find the arc length for this point? Let me mark this as P1 and this point as P2. So the arc length from P1 to P2, we need to find that. We already know that the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Let us assume the radius of the circle is r. 2 pi r is the circumference of the whole circle. So what would be the circumference of a quarter circle? It has to be divided by 4. This is the arc length P1 to P2. Now you divide it by the radius. This gives you the measure of the angle in radians, right? This will be equal to pi by 2. Now this pi by 2 is equal to 1.57. So you can say that 90 degrees, which you know in the Babylonian measurement, is equal to 1.57 radians. I hope that is clear. Okay, so let's come back to our previous scenario. The young man is there. While we were discussing about the angles, he went on and measured the distance between the old man and the tree, which came out to be 25.5 meters. Now, he needs to find the height of the tree. We know about angles. So how does he do that? Well, the answer to that question would be trigonometry. Now, trigonometry is a branch of mathematics which connects angles, heights and distances. You already studied about angles. How do you measure angles? He already measured the distance between the tree and the old man. All he needs to do is measure the height. But just recollect one thing. While we were studying till now, the angle opposite to the angle that was opposite, the side that was opposite to the angle was a curved side, right? Let us go back to what we studied till now. We observed that this is the angle of our interest. The side that is opposite to our angle is a curved side. Just imagine what would happen if I drop a perpendicular from here. The opposite side to the angle was not a curved part but a straight line. That is this thing. What would happen in this scenario? We can take that triangle out and let's now calculate the ratio of the opposite side to the angle and the base, which is 8 by 10 equal to 0.8. Keep this in mind. Now what I do is that I just extend these two arms of the triangle like this. So now the new height of the triangle is 12 meters and the base is 15 meters. What did I just do with the previous triangle? I just extended the two sides here and made it to the new length is 15 and the height is 12. Now if I again take, which is the opposite side to the angle? This is the angle, opposite side of the new angle of the new triangle, right? Now the bigger triangle is our triangle of interest. Opposite side to this angle is this. What is the measure of that? 12 units. The base is 15 units. Now if you take the ratio of the opposite side to the base, which is 12 by 15, is equal to 0.8. If you observe, the initial ratio was also 0.8 and the new ratio with the new height and base is also 0.8. Now what can you infer from these results? Like, let us go through the observation. We see that the ratio of the opposite side to the angle to the base would remain the same whatever the size of the triangle, right? Keeping the angle constant, that must be our basic thing. When you keep the angle constant, whatever the size of the triangle, the ratio of the opposite side to the base would always remain constant. However, this ratio is different from the ratio that we got in case of a circle. Let me just go back and show you that. Here, when I had the curved circle, this one, here I assume that this angle is 0.68. Now the new ratio is 0.8, right? So this 0.8 has to have a different name, right? So I call this, okay, just keep this. We have to have a different name for this angle. Now if I measure the angle with a protractor, it comes out to be 38.7. So I can say that this 0.8 is equal to the tan of this angle. Tan is a short of tangent. So I can say that the ratio 0.8 that we get is equal to the tangent of this angle, which can be denoted as tan of 37.8 is equal to 0.8. I hope that is clear to you guys. Right? Let us look at some of the examples. Now if I take the angle to be 26.6, so what will be tan of 26.6? Opposite side to the angle divided by the base. 8 by 16 equal to 0.5. Right? Another situation, if the angle is 45, the ratio of the opposite side to the base would always be equal to 1. Keep this point in mind. This is a special case where opposites, whenever tan 45 comes, the ratio of the opposite side to the base has to be equal to 1. That means they both are same. Okay, now let us come back to the previous situation. Here, now when we were discussing about these things, he already had the measurement of the distance between the man and the tree. Now all he has to do is measure the angle. From this point he needs to measure the angle to the top of the tree, right? And how will he do that? Well, there's an instrument called a theodolite. So he goes and borrows this instrument from one of his civil engineer friends, and he finds that this angle is 43 degrees. Now just understand, you have the angle, you have the base distance, all you need to find is the height of the tree. We already discussed that the ratio of the opposite side to the base is equal to the tan of this angle, right? So if this is 43 degrees, tan of 43 would be equal to height of the tree divided by the base. Now using a calculator you can find what is tan 43, which comes out to be 0.93. Now I hope you remember that tan 45 was equal to 1. So obviously tan 43 has to be somewhat less than 1, right? So 0.93 equal to height of the tree by the base. So height of the tree would be equal to 0.93 into 25.5, which is 23.7 meters. Which means the height of the tree is less than the distance between the old man and the tree. Hence, the guy can go ahead and cut the tree while the old man enjoys his read. And the dog, well, the dog has its day too. Thank you.